Welcome to Session Sunday. Hi guys, it's Jack Edwards and today's session is going to be focusing on a small group session again. But before we get into this week's video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe, and if you missed last week's video, click on the link above. Okay, so looking at this week's session, it's going to be similar to last week, having 6 parts. The first 3 parts are going to be focused more on our SAQ and our ball work, and then we're going to go into some more technical drills with our passing and dribbling as the main focus this week. So this week, we've got 4 players, okay, but it's easily adaptable for 5 players or 3 players, however many players you might be working with, or even if you're doing one-to-ones, okay, you can use a lot of these drills to do it, but obviously you just have to increase the rest periods. So for now, what we're going to be doing is, in terms of the settlement equipment, so equipment this week, the main things we need are balls and cones, okay? If you have bibs as well to separate the players, that's good, but you don't need it because you've only got 4 players. And then also, if you have poles, you can use them instead of using cones sometimes to get round as if it's a defender, but it's also not a necessity. The setup for this part of the session, okay, we've got 7 yards into the middle cone and then 7 yards to the end cone, and we've got 5 yards of width. So the first focus is without the ball, okay, so we're practicing our sprinting in, our shuffling, okay, shuffling again, and then sprinting out. Okay, so players will go separately. So we're going to start with the reds. The player will sprint into the middle, okay, they will shuffle to the right or the left, doesn't really matter, shuffle to the other side again, and then they will come back into the middle and sprint through. As soon as they got to there, the blue player will go shuffle across, and get back through and keep going. When the players get back to their starting point, okay, that's when you know they've done 2 reps, okay, so that's 1 set done, and you can do as many sets as you want to do. Now moving into doing it with the ball, okay, so this time you're going to have 2 players working at the same time. So what we're going to see here is, each team will start with the ball, so the player who's not going to be going first will have the ball. Okay, so we're just going to do an example with 1 player. So the player will sprint out to the right, so then the other player will sprint out to the left. They're going to receive a ball on the outside of the cone, so we're working on that positioning, our receiving skills. Play it back first time if we can. Then we're going to get across to the other side, play the ball in, play the ball back, and then we're going to receive it here. Okay, so the other player will be down here. We're going to receive the ball here. Okay, we're going to take a touch and then drive the ball all the way back. As soon as we get back, the next player will be ready to go and do the same thing, and you want them to do a couple of repetitions again before having a rest. Okay, so they're working hard and you've got to think about being on their feet to receive the ball and then driving out with the ball. Okay, so we've worked on our sprinting, worked on our shuffling, and now working on our passing. Okay, our first time passing, our first touch, and then our driving with the ball. We will now move into our first animation before moving on to part 2 of this week's session. Okay, so now moving into part 2 of this week's session, we're now moving into an agility-based drill with the ladders. Okay, if you don't have access to a ladders, you can just use cones instead. Best tip I have for when you're using cones to do with ladders is just put them a foot width apart. So put your cone down, okay, and then you put your heel on the end of the cone that's on the floor, and then where your toe is, okay, put the next one, because then the players have got to be sharp as if they're going through the ladder. If there's too big of a space, it's too easy for them to go through. Okay, so now you've really got to test the footwork and you want them on their toes. So we're going to have 2 players on the ladders starting opposite sides, okay? So they're going to work their way up. When the players have got through the ladders, okay, each player on the outside is going to have a ball in their hands. They're going to throw it to the right foot, first time pass back, get to the side, throw it to the left foot, first time pass back, and then go through the ladders again. Okay, so they're going to work for a minute each. So the legs are going to be burning. Okay, it's important to keep working hard, especially after that first 30 seconds, okay, because it does get hard. The legs will get sore, okay, but it's important to keep on them toes, keep bursting out, getting them touches and getting themselves back through. They can go through the ladders however they want, so it can just be 2 feet over, it could be shuffling to the side, it could be going in and out. There's lots of different ways to do it, so maybe mix it up. After they've all had to go for a minute, do it for 30 seconds, but change it up to headers. Okay, so they're coming through here, they're bursting out, and as soon as they've got out the ladder, you want them the player to throw the ball, so you've got to really use that burst out, okay, to jump and head the ball back. Okay, so working on our touch and working on our heading as well. So important when we're going through them ladders, like we're saying about going through them with nice fast feet, pumping them arms, okay, focusing on the feet, okay, making sure that we're not putting them heels on the floor, because that's how we clip the ladder. We will now move into our next animation before moving on to part 3 of this week's session. Now moving into part 3 of this week's session, we're now looking at our acceleration round corners, our turning, okay, and then we move into the ball, our close control and bursting out a bit with speed. So what we've got here, we've got a diamond on the outside and a small box in the middle. Okay, so the diamond is 10 yards either side, so you're better off starting in, doing your first 10 yards and then doing 5 yards back into the middle and then do 5 yards either side, the best way to set it up. And then a 2x2 box in the middle for the players to go through. They have to go through the box every time after going around a cone. Okay, so we're first doing it without a ball. 2 repetitions each set, so they are working hard, they are getting a little bit of rest, and it's back in. Start in the box, okay, come around the corner, and then get yourself back through the box. And then it might be a change of direction. Get yourself around the corner, back through the box, sprint right across, okay, get to the last corner, and back through. Okay, this is great to work on in terms of, you know, we could be sprinting up one side of the pitch and then turning and going back. Okay, it could be for centre midfielders getting across, for wingers getting forwards and backwards. Okay, so it's good to work on our burst of speed. Okay, because we've got to come in them corners, accelerate with quick feet, de-accelerate, and then accelerate again. Okay, so really burst through them corners, okay, and change directions quickly. Okay, it's important, again, pumping them arms, being light on the feet, and then having that acceleration to get around the corners. As soon as they got through the last box, they'll sprint their way through, make their way back, and then the next person will go in. And then once they've done 2 repetitions, have a little rest, okay, and then do it again. Now moving into the ball, same thing, same setup, but obviously they're taking the ball, so you've got to dribble around each one. So it's important, again, burst off with speed. When you get into by the corner, nice close control. Okay, the best tip to remember for me is if they're coming in on this side and they're controlling the ball with the left foot, when you take it round with the left, then get the outside of the right foot to then drag the ball away, okay, in one touch. So you're not taking an extra couple of touches if you're just going with the same foot, or you're taking smaller touches. So get around, once you're getting around here, get that right foot or the left foot across, depending on what side you're coming from, to drag the ball out, and then you've literally got one touch to go, right, I'm going to change direction, or you're going to keep bursting forward the same way. So the same setup, they'll go around each corner, back the way through. Once they get to the end, every player should have a ball. Okay, if they don't, obviously you can share, so they can leave the ball in the middle when they finish. Do 2 repetitions each, okay, and then try and do another set or 2, okay, so it makes the players work hard, especially later on in the game. You've still got to have these fundamentals correct to be able to keep the ball. We will now move into our next animation before moving on to this week's 4 corner model. Looking at this week's 4 corner model, starting off with technical and tactical. So we're going to split it into 2 areas again. Okay, our SAQ based technical and tactical, and then our more technical drills with our dribbling and our passing. Okay, so starting off with like fast feet. Okay, so we need to have fast feet getting through the ladders. Okay, fast feet through the corners and bursting out. Okay, move our feet as quick as we can, because the slower we move through them ladders, the less we're working. Okay, so it's important then to pump their arms. Okay, to match the feet with how hard they're working. Okay, and it makes our technique is better. So it's got to be as if we're running, because we don't run with our hands down our side. Okay, we've got to be pumping them arms to make it realistic and provide that balance as well. Bending the knees. So we worked on shuffling. Okay, so when we're shuffling, if we're standing up straight, it's harder to shuffle. Okay, we can't turn very quickly. Bend those knees as if we're covering the ground quickly. Okay, as a defender, that low body position, getting to the ball, shuffle across, and then when you get round the corners, you'll find yourself burst off even quicker. And then finally, heels off the floor. Okay, so when the heels are on the floor, we can't react very quickly. Okay, we've got to be light on our toes. We can react to a ball going in a different direction. Okay, we can react to a player turning direction as well. So always making sure that we're light on our feet gives us a better chance of moving quickly. And then close control, so we've already seen close control with the first couple of drills that we've done, okay? So making sure that that touch is nice and tight, especially around the corners, okay? And then obviously when we're getting it as well, a nice first touch to then drive with the ball, okay, in part one of the session. Execution of our passes, so when the ball's coming in slow, put a bit more pace on it, okay? When the ball's coming in fast, use that pace to play it back. So it's important then for our heels to be off the floor so we can react to where the ball's going to go, because it might bobble, or anything can happen, especially on a grass pitch. Okay, so our passes have got to be good, got to be firm, because when a player's working hard, the last thing they want is a ball rolling in really slowly. The tempo gets lower. Okay, so really fizz it in, test people's touches, okay? And then finally, our receiving skills. So we want to be making sure that we're opening out, okay, so we know where we're playing to. Okay, our body position's good, we're getting ourselves into space, so we're getting beyond cones, not in front of them, not to the wrong side of them, we're getting away from the defender to open out and play, okay, now giving ourselves that option to play and then get to the other side. Moving into the psychological corner, being ready to receive, okay, so always being ready to receive, so with them fundamentals of the receiving skills, making sure we're remembering them even when we're tired, okay, so making sure that obviously, again, getting away from the defender, creating space, that body position, opening out, things like that all the time. Awareness, okay, so awareness of the space around us, what we're working in, okay, awareness of what cones am I going to, and then awareness of other players. So in part one, when two players are working at the same time, okay, having that little check over your shoulder to see where they are, to see where your run's going to be. Concentration, okay, so making sure we're concentrating for the minute, because once that goes, okay, the tempo can go and the quality can go, okay, if it's, I'm tired now, when we lose a bit of concentration and focus, and the touch goes, all the fundamentals go of our receiving skills, our close control, and then our passes. So it's important to concentrate for the full minute, even when you're tired, okay, to making sure that the thing that we're doing, it could be passing, dribbling, sprinting, is still at a really high quality. And then finally, a positive attitude from the people involved, okay, the coaches and the people who are currently resting, okay, to have that positive attitude to a player, to relay it onto them, so that they get that extra 5-10% to keep working, okay? Everyone's believing in me, okay? Everyone's giving me, a lot of praise, so that's going to push me to finish right to the end. Moving into the physical corner, looking at speed, okay, both with and without the ball again, okay, so speed to burst around the corners, speed to get up to the cones quickly and then burst out, okay? So it's important that we're moving quickly, we're covering that ground quickly, okay, we're working to our maximum with that speed. Acceleration and de-acceleration. So when we're coming out of a corner, it's important to tell the players to really accelerate out, okay? And then when we're getting close to a corner, de-accelerate, okay? So this is both with and without the ball. So then we've got that close control, okay? Once we get out, we can take a bigger touch to get away, okay? And then when we're coming around, so it's also important to remember that when, you're a defender or an attacker, being able to change the direction quickly then, okay? Because if we've got that speed, but we don't bend those knees and we don't de-accelerate quick enough, okay, we're going to be standing up straight, sprinting into somewhere and getting in slowly. So keep a full back, getting out to the winger, sprints in, okay, doesn't de-accelerate quickly enough, the ball comes into the attack and he takes one touch and he's away. Whereas if we cover the ground quickly, we start to de-accelerate, we get that low body position, we bend those knees. If the player then goes to go down the line or come inside, we can easily, okay, turn and intercept it. Okay, so again, our ABC is agility, balance and coordination all the way throughout. With the ladders, we're turning, okay, we're doing lots of turning, okay, lots of coordinating with our feet, changing our feet of what we're using as well. It's important to always have that. And then finally, endurance, like working to our maximum. Okay, so the more we put in, the more we get out, okay? The more the players do it, the quicker they get, which means they're getting even fitter as well, which is great. So it's being able to enjoy that 1 minute. Okay, so work as hard as you can for that 1 minute, for that 30 seconds, for those 2 reps, okay? Because the more you put in, the more you get out. And then finally, our social corner, communication. So asking for the ball as a player. So telling someone to hold it until you get somewhere and then asking for the ball. Or I want it to my right foot, I want it to my left foot, little things like that. And the players who aren't in the middle or passing the ball to somebody, giving information to the teammate. Yeah, move to your right, move to your left, come short, go a bit longer. Little bits of information to support the player so that they can concentrate and go, they're then aware of where they need to go. And then finally, praise, support and encouraging, okay? So positive reinforcement to our players as coaches and as teammates, okay? So give that player that extra 5%, that extra bit of boost to keep on working, okay? When they're getting good feedback and they're getting good praise from their peers. Now moving into part 4 of this week's session, we're now moving into a receiving skills based drill, okay? So this is going to be high intensity for the players, okay, for a minute. And then do it for 30 seconds as well, okay? So this is where that concentration comes in, that awareness, those receiving skills, those executions of passes, and then working with the endurance. So this is where the players on the outside who's having the rest and the coach and other players needs to be given lots of praise, okay? Because it is hard So we're gonna have a 20 yards a depth, okay, and then 5 yards a width in the middle, so 10 yards in. One player is going to be resting, okay, because the players do get tired afterwards, all right? So once this player on the outside yet hasn't had a go, they'll just go on the outside and somebody else can take a place in the middle and that player will come out. So they've got a cone to the left and a cone to the right. So to receive the ball, they must get round one of the cones, okay, open out, play out to their teammates, get themselves back in, receive it from the other side, again, back and again. They can receive it from the same side, but they have to go back into the middle first. Okay, so this is where they're going to tell a player to hold it. So I can receive it here, okay, play out to my teammate here. He takes his touch, and he's instantly going to think, oh, he's going to go to the other side, okay? Hold the ball, okay, he's took his touch, okay? Yes, give me back to the same side, open out, play again. All right, so they're going to do it for a minute. It's important, even when we're tired, light on those feet. That first touch is good, takes us out, takes us to where we want to go. So we're opening out, nice firm pass through, get ourselves back into the middle, and then get our movements, okay, away from the cone. Use it as a defender, okay? Get away from them, okay? And there we go. The player can even do a 1-2 if they want to. It could be played in, get yourself wide, receive it again and play through, okay? But we want them really to be opening out, okay, and playing in, just because it's going to be quicker and they're getting back in, all right? But they can do a 1-2 as well to mix it up. So once they're done, player who's just been in will rest, one of the players on the outside goes in, and then that player will join in there. So once every player's done it once for 1 minute, or do it for 30 seconds. So in that 30 seconds, you should notice the intensity to be even higher all the way throughout. We will now move into our next animation before moving on to part 5 of this week's session. Okay, so looking at part 5 of this week's session, we're now moving into a dribbling based drill. So each player is going to have a ball. So if you split your players into 2 groups, okay, so blues and reds, so just so we can swap who's going to be defenders. So we're going to have a 5x5 triangle, okay. The aim of the game is with both players having a ball, okay, so you're going to set one team as the defenders, so the chasers, and then one team just as normal dribblers trying to stay away from the defender, so they can they're looking for them to change direction, okay, nice close control, get away, and then get obviously accelerating. So as soon as the play starts, okay, both players got the ball, so the attacker's going to try and say to that defender, right, you're going to follow me, okay, I'm going to get you here, and then I'm going to get away, accelerate away, and get into space. So practicing our turning, so our ABCs, our accelerating with the ball, our de-accelerating with the ball, our close control, okay. After the ball's been won, have a little rest, and then you do it again. And it could be after the reds have won it 3 times, okay, it goes to the blues, okay, and same with the other side. So both players are going at the same time, okay, so they could get here, and the reds are chasing them, and it's going the other way, and they either keep going the same way, so they keep doing it, and then the reds come back, and you change the direction, okay. So you can do this both with and without the ball, okay, but we're just focusing on our dribbling for now, because the players have already done quite a bit of SAQ work without the ball, but this could be something that you want to do more towards the start of a session, okay, as a little warm-up activation drill without the ball, and then move into the ball, okay, because we've got lots to focus on in that aspect. We will now move into our next animation before moving on to the final part of this week's session. Moving into the final part of this week's session, we're now finishing off with a long passing drill. Okay, so the players are tired now, so it's really important to see what the passes are going to be like, okay, when the legs are tired. Okay, so we're just looking to work on our technique, obviously our execution, our passes, and then our first touch. So the players, they're going to be in a 5x5 box, okay, each, and then 20 yards in the middle. Okay, so it's, you know, a 20 to 25 yard pass. Rule is though, okay, the ball cannot touch the floor until it reaches their teammate's box. Okay, once that happens, the player's first touch is then going to stay in the box. So we're looking for a good first touch, could be with the chest, the knee, or the feet. So we're just looking to clip it in, control. If the control goes out, there's no point. If the ball bounces beforehand or goes wide or behind, it's also no point. Okay, so let them get used to it for a minute or 2, and then create a little competition, because then when the pressure's on, then we can see the technique maybe change. That's where you can go in and get some coaching points. So just constantly looking just to switch it to each other, touch and play, touch and play. A way to progress it is you can do diagonal passing instead. Okay, so you can swap them over here, all right, and then looking to pass diagonal. So a little bit of a change for them, so getting that ball off the feet, so maybe clip it a little bit more, okay, maybe even a little curl on the pass as well. So different techniques of our passing. And then finally, you can work on doing it with the weak foot as well. So improving that weaker foot, okay? So we're just looking to clip it into our teammate with our weak foot. Don't need too much power because it's just a 20-yard pass, okay? But working on that technique with our weak foot and not forgetting it, okay? So starting off straight, okay, just a nice straight pass, working on our diags, and then looking for a weak foot pass to finish. We will now move into our final animation before concluding this week's session. Thanks for watching this week's video. For more content, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now TikTok, where I'm going to be uploading weekly drills for you to do at home. The links will be in the description below, and we'll see you next week for another Session Sunday.